Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, it is I, your host, the Royal Baddie, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all how I did these amazing soft locks. And I just started off with making sure I was strategic about my parting, because usually I have too many braids in my head, and I usually feel like the style is too thick. So I kept telling my mom that my hair will always be too full, and she kept telling me to search on YouTube and do the bricklayer pattern. But when I finally listened, it made such a huge difference, y'all. I started off parting behind the ear. I went from ear to ear, and then I made that two sections like I'm showing you now, ear to ear, just like that. And then I split that into two. Then I went down the middle and split that into two. Then I made rows, as you can see, or are those columns, whatever they're called. I made about 5, I think, to make like medium parts. And now I'm just doing a brick layer where you go in and you make sure each braid lands in the middle of a part, if that makes sense. Just watch what I'm doing and I'll be back to explain. So what you're seeing me do is making sure that everything is like molded down with edge control so that they'll look neater. And now I'm doing the brick layer. So in the middle of this braid, I'm making my part, and then in the middle of the other side, so in the middle of that braid, I'm making my part, and then the braid will fall in between those two braids at the bottom. And that's how I did every part in my head. Super simple. Once you get the hang of it, you've got it. But just continue watching, and if you guys have any questions, make sure y'all ask in the description. My mom just came in, y'all. I'm combing my hair out from the end, and I work my way up to comb it out so that I won't pull out my hair, or so that it won't hurt. So that's what you just saw there. And now I'm sectioning the part for this braid. I'm sectioning it into 3 equal pieces so that I can start braiding, which is what you're seeing here. So just continue watching, and I'll be back to explain the next step to you guys. As you can see, the braids are going in between each part. So this is the brick layer that I was talking about. And I did the parting and braiding first so that it could be way easier once I started to put the soft locks in my hair. So that's what you guys are seeing here. Here I'm just making sure all my parts are neat and crispy. And I'll be back to further explain in the next clip. So now I'm starting off with a lock. I got the extra long locks. I think they're like 36 inches. I'm crocheting the locks in. And I started like down. I didn't start at the root of the braid since I didn't want like a bulky soft lock. I wanted it to look more natural. So I started like 3 braids down, if that makes sense. Like if you braid down 3 times, then that's where I crochet the lock in. So I'm crocheting a lock in, And then once I get it through, I'm gonna take the loop, and then I'm gonna take my braid and the end of the lock and bring it through the loop, and then I'm gonna tighten it by pulling it. So now this, y'all, I had to go back and look at a soft lock video for reference, because I did this, like, I didn't want to do it this way, but I just started by holding the hair that I used and just twisting it around instead of crocheting the hair in. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way because I feel like it gets more tangled into your real hair and it'll be harder to take down. But I'm going to show y'all the other way that I did it. But right here, I'm just wrapping it around my braid and the soft lock. So this is like the, I think it's extreme hair in a red pack. It's the kinky hair. And really, depending on how many locks you have, you can use 1 to 2 packs. I use like a pack and a half because one piece of hair, you can split it into 3 or 4. And y'all, I was like, wow. Unless you want it thicker. The thickness depends on how many pieces you will split this hair into. But it's like extreme kinky twist hair or something like that. And then once I'm done wrapping it, I just take my hands and do that to secure the wrap in place. And here's how it looks. Boom, seamless. And I'm showing y'all me doing it with blonde. This blonde kept getting tangled, and this is reused hair. The lock and the hair that I'm using to wrap it with itself. I wouldn't recommend getting this hair. This hair is so annoying. It's like Barbie doll twist. I think it came in like a green pack. It's like Barbie doll hair. It gets tangled really easily. It's like plastic more than like kinky hair. So I wouldn't recommend getting this kind. I'm not really sure what kind it was. I just know it was in a green pack. And I'm just wrapping the hair. You want to be careful when you're using blonde hair against your black hair, because you have to wrap it really tight and make sure, you see, some of the hair is wrapping on top of the hair that's already wrapped, because I don't want no black showing in this blonde hair that I'm doing. Now, if that's the style that you guys are going for, cool, but that's not what I was going for. So I was very careful about the way that I wrapped this hair, as you guys can see. And then I did the same thing to secure the wrap. And I was using gotchu because, like I said, this hair was like Barbie doll hair. It wasn't as kinky as the black hair, and it wasn't really holding well. So and here's a close-up of me crocheting in the hair to wrap around. So this is the second way you can wrap the hair. The first way, I just held the hair and wrapped it around, but this way I actually crocheted in, and I pulled it all the way like to the end. Like I didn't leave that much hair to hold on to right there, and then I just start wrapping. So that way, you see, that way I'll have all the hair to wrap to the end, and I won't have to add another piece of hair. Now sometimes you might, but majority of the time I did not have to add another piece of hair because it was enough. And now I'm wrapping the base. Y'all see it's not bulky. It looks like it's coming out of my scalp. And I'm carefully wrapping. I'm wrapping tight, and I'm making sure that it's neat. And if you're not going for the neat look, you don't have to wrap it neat. If you want it to look older, or if you want it to look more natural, you don't have to do it this neat. But as time goes on, and the more you wear it, the more natural it starts to look, because it starts to look old and your hair starts to grow out. So, and you guys see how I'm wrapping it. You want to make sure that the hair that's already been wrapped, you want to make sure that it's a little hair still wrapping around that. I was doing that with my finger to make sure the bulky part like settles in a little bit. But you want to make sure that the hair that's already wrapped, you see that, like how, boom, I'm wrapping the hair that's already wrapped halfway. Like, I hope I'm making sense. I don't really know how to explain it. Just watch what I'm doing. and now I'm just doing the moves to make everything settle in. And in the next few clips, y'all are going to see how it looks. And so far I've done a few styles with this. It's not in the video. You guys can check out my TikTok if you would like to see those styles. The link is in the description. And y'all let me know what type of content y'all want to see from me. Stay to the end. But yeah, this is really all I have to say. So just enjoy the rest of the video, and until next time, bye.
Let's rock.